Zimbabwean authorities and security forces must stop interfering with peaceful public protests against government. That's a ruling of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights. In a statement, the Commission said the disrupting of public protests violates people's rights as defined in the African Charter. This follows the crackdown by authorities on street protests by Women of Zimbabwe Arise, during which its members were arrested and detained. WOZA responded by reporting the Zimbabwean government to the human rights body. eNCA Correspondent Pindai Dube reports.
Women of Zimbabwe Arise HOSA National Coordinator Jenny Williams said the organization held 200 peaceful protests in Zimbabwe between 2003 to 2013, during which more than 10,000 of its members were arrested and detained. It obtained the service of Zimbabwe Lawyers for Human Rights and the US-based Robert F. Kennedy Center for Justice and Human Rights to present its case to the African Commission on Human and People's Rights.
The rights that were raised were the freedom of association, freedom of assembly, freedom of expression, the right to personal liberty, and protection against non-discrimination, as well as the duty to protect the rights. So in that particular communication, the commission raised that indeed the government of Zimbabwe was in violation.
Williams says she hopes Zimbabwe government will respect the position of the African Commission as it has signed and ratified the African Charter.
This opportunity, we're not going to allow it to pass. The Zimbabwe government also have to realize that there is a cost that must be paid to activists if you are not going to discipline your police force, your security, and your PC department and your CIOs and allow them to overreach.
Zimbabwe Information Permanent Secretary Nick Mangwana, when asked to comment on the Commission's findings, described President Emmerson Mnangagwa's government as democratic. He says it respects the Constitution and is widening and deepening its democratic reach. Pindai Dube, Harare.